Rules of the road, the value of understanding and following traffic regulations. There are more traffic laws than you can count that impede the highway transportation system of the United States. Each one has been established by a state or the federal government to safeguard the public and preserve law and order on our country's roads. The pace you must travel at, the moves you can make, the places you can and cannot drive, and the ways you must drive in particular circumstances are all governed by traffic rules. While some regulations are always in effect, others only do so during particular hours of the day or seasons of the year. The value of traffic regulations. Traffic regulations are crucial because they protect individuals from harm. In the wrong hands, a car may be a lethal and devastating weapon. All drivers must adhere to a strict set of regulations to ensure the safety of all road users. Every year, there are about 5 million incidents and crashes in the United States. A significant share of the 37,133 traffic-related fatalities that occurred in 2017 were caused by drivers who disobeyed traffic laws. Legislation governing right-of-way. During your driver's education course, you will learn some of the most crucial regulations pertaining to right-of-way. Right-of-way governs all interactions you have when driving with other drivers, pedestrians, and bicycles. Right-of-way laws will decide who gets to go first and who has to yield whenever your path crosses another road users. Without right-of-way regulations, traffic would become backed up and there would be a lot more collisions. Remember that if you are uncertain about who has the right-of-way, it is usually safer to yield. Additionally, being courteous to other drivers and letting them go first helps to keep traffic moving and prevent hostility between road users. Background of traffic laws. Road users in the United States are fortunate to be covered by a comprehensive set of federal traffic laws and methods for enforcing them. These safety features were lacking when motor vehicles first started to circulate on our roads at the end of the 19th century and for many years after. Up until the late 1960s, there were very few restrictions on driving and only state governments could set the legislation. One of the earliest traffic laws was mandatory automobile registration, which was first implemented in New York in 1901. William Phelps Sr. proposed a citywide traffic law in his book Rules of the Road in 1903, which was prompted by the escalating mayhem on New York City's roads. Although it took a while before drivers began to abide by these restrictions or local authorities actively enforced them, his guidebook created numerous new driving laws and behaviors. Phelps introduced a key driving principle that now serves as the foundation for modern traffic regulation, despite firmly thinking that signal lights at intersections would never be able to regulate traffic. Specifically, the notion that left-hand lanes should be utilized for passing while slow traffic should stay to the right. Throughout the 20th century, both the number of vehicles on the road and the number of traffic-related injuries and fatalities climbed steadily. In order to address this expanding concern, the National Traffic and Motor Vehicle Safety Act was developed in 1966. Through what is now known as the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the act gave the federal government the authority to establish and enforce new vehicle and road safety standards, NHTSA. In an effort to increase road user safety, traffic regulations are created and modified to reflect shifting road conditions. Around the United States, new traffic laws are enacted essentially every year. Law enforcement in traffic. The way that traffic laws are enforced and the consequences for breaking them have changed along with the laws themselves. Studies have repeatedly shown that people are more inclined to follow the law when they fear punishment than when they think they can get away with it. As a result, traffic laws are now rigidly upheld, with a separate department under each state government responsible for carrying them out. The majority of traffic infractions are strict responsibility offenses as opposed to crimes, and the offender is given a ticket. This indicates that a driver can be judged responsible and punished without going through a criminal court process. These infractions include speeding, unlawful parking, disregarding a stop sign, driving with one's headlight is out. Despite the fact that these actions are not crimes, they still carry harsh penalties, particularly if they threaten other road users. The punishment for committing a traffic infraction may include any of the following depending on the seriousness and whether it is a first-time or repeat offense. A fine. A driving ban, either permanent or temporary. Extra points to your license, which accumulate and may result in loss of your license. Driving under the influence, DUI, for example, is one of the more serious traffic laws breaches that can lead to criminal prosecution and incarceration. Not all motorists adhere to traffic laws. Traffic laws, fines, and penalties can help deter risky driving, but they can't make everyone follow the rules. Drivers regularly flout traffic laws intentionally or just by failing to pay attention. America issues millions of traffic violations annually, with about 125,000 citations being written up each day. Driving carefully, being aware of the law, and paying attention to traffic control devices are all ways that motorists can keep themselves safe and in compliance with the law. Keep in mind that while you have control over your own behavior, you cannot foresee how other drivers will perform. Never presume that other drivers will adhere strictly to the rules of the road. Be on the lookout at all times. If you see another driver doing something wrong, don't try to correct them by shouting at them or honking your horn. This will just increase the risk in an already dangerous situation.